First of all, a massive disclaimer. I've only played around 25 of the entries, so inevitably I will miss a lot of levels, but I think I'll hit most of the major contenders. I think the 10th place level should be The Beyond by Lyle. I'm a big fan of Towernator, and I think it should have placed in the NCS Gauntlet, and we all know what happened then with that level. But things are looking up for Lyle because this time his entry got Legendary, which tends to correlate with a higher contest placement. I still like the Towernator a bit more than this, but other people really like this level a lot, and I have to admit I'm glad to see that this gets the reception that the Towernator really deserved. Other than that, I genuinely think this is still top 10 worthy, so it's in my prediction. In 9th place, I have Hyper Astralis by Adrone and More. It's a very cool level, very polished, high quality design, color, and glow. And I think it's what early 2.1 tech style always aspired to be. And it has great song representation with the gameplay. It's a very hard song to build gameplay to, in my opinion. It is very short gameplay-wise, though, and there's a long cutscene which I think will hurt its chances a little bit, but I really hope this still places. In 8th place, I have Space, I Guess by Hit Villain, because it's super original. It did piss me off a little when I played it, though. Lots of deaths past 90 seconds in the level, but that may be chalked up to a skill issue. In 7th, I put Stardust Sanctuary by Glubfubbers. It's crazy to me that in the middle of 2024, this guy who hadn't uploaded a full level yet decided to become one of the best creators in the game and dropped Royal Roost Ruins as his first rate, making it also legendary. And then he backed it up with enough bangers to get nominated in the GD Awards. About Stardust Sanctuary, though, it's a beautiful art level with a color scheme that I just love. Not much to say, really. In 6th place, I have Defining and Defying by Gallifluff. I have to be a bit nitpicky here, though, because some of the molecules in the atomic scale part are just clumps of elemental silver. There are more molecules in the world than that. You could have done something really cool like different quantum dots or metal ligand compounds or just organic molecules. Have some variety. With that totally major level ruining flaw out of the way, it's really clean and original, so what more can you ask for in a level? Now for my top 5, I think these following entries are just on another level in this contest. In 5th, I have Abducted by Vegtam. It's such a memorable level in every way, but I think he made it too easy and forgiving in the wrong way by just removing a lot of clicks, but we'll have to see. In the end, it is a 3-star, so I can't complain. In 4th, I put Alien Dream Emulator by Kira. You know that it's going to do well in the contest when it doesn't get rated right away. That means Rob is going to give it Mythic once the contest gets judged. I think none of the space entries should get rated before the results to avoid ruining the surprise, but I understand if Rob doesn't want to flood the feature tab with 80 plus levels all at once. So Alien Dream Emulator, it's very flashy. I think that's just Kira's style though. I haven't played this one actually, so I hope that the swing part is nice and playable. 3rd place is Space Time Continuum by Desticy. Well, this level just blew my fucking mind. The dash orbs are so cool and creative. The song representation is off the charts. It's like Desticy never stopped creating. It just goes to show that some people just have innate editor talent, I guess. In 2nd, I have Final Orbit by MSM, Blee, and Mordrock, and 1st is quite predictably Aperture by Chun LV, Renomi, and Maddie. I'm going to talk more about Final Orbit in the second part of this video, so Aperture. Holy shit, are these guys even using the same editor as us? Look at that 3D part. I think the x-axis of the icon is controlled like the second icon in the Find the Answer duels. That level is made by Callie with a Q, who made a tutorial about that dual mechanic, but I still have no idea how they got the objects to be 3D so cleanly like that, which is saying something because usually I can look at something and know how it's made. So G frickin' G to the creators behind Aperture. I think you guys are going to win. Now moving on to a bit of a longer review on Final Orbit. This level leaves a lot to be said, and keep in mind that I wrote the script before actually reading the description of the level. So, it seems you play the part of a space explorer, or you have some job in this spaceship. There are 4 pictures in what seems to be your room. One of them is a reference to the song, which is super cool, and the other 3 seem to be images of important aspects of your past. And then your ship gets hit by a rock and fucking explodes and you're in space. The homey place that was your room no longer exists. The music is beautiful but solemn and sad. You have to imagine that if you were in this situation, you would be totally screwed. Then as the song builds up, scenes of or related to these pictures appear in the background, as if your life is flashing before your eyes. And it still cuts back to the space background to remind you where you are. You're still in an impossible situation, and the only thing you can do to cope is keep beating this level. Then the build-up finishes, and the music takes on a more urgent tone as the drop speeds up the gameplay, and those 4 pictures keep flashing in front of you. The drop stays largely uniform, until the end, where this spider orb that completes the level brings you out of your trance and ends your life review. The music goes quiet. Despite beating the level, you haven't escaped your situation, and you won't. You'll just drift away, surrounded by what used to be your trusty ship, as you watch the telescope picture you cherish burn away into nothing. Your life is now over, and you're done. You beat the level, a fitting way to spend your final moments. So, holy shit did this level strike a chord like no other did. Aperture is more technically impressive, and I think it's just as polished and clean, so I think it will take the dub, but holy shit. So, a few things. The level isn't perfect. For example, how does the picture burn in space? There's no oxygen. Anyway, on to the real criticism. I would have preferred, especially in the drop, if the structures stayed like they were in the space scene and didn't change with the background. It would have cemented the notion that the background changing is just a mirage, a product of your current trauma. If you took a freeze frame of one of these scenes, there's nothing to indicate that you're actually in space. This complete immersion into the picture ironically breaks the immersion of the level a bit. You should still be in space because you already are there. The structures should serve as a stark reminder that you're still in space and you have no way out, no hope. Just this final activity that is the level. Maybe I am misinterpreting the entire story here, but if I am correctly interpreting it, I think the structures being unchanging would sell the story more. Maybe Bleach tried that and it didn't look good, but I digress. The only other thing is that the same few backgrounds getting cycled in the drop becomes a little repetitive, but it's a worthy sacrifice for the insane storytelling this level does. And apparently Bleach spent 400 hours on this, so not like it's rushed or anything. Despite the imperfections, everything that this level needed to get perfect, it did. Optimization. I played this on mobile. My iPhone 12 mini didn't break a sweat. Gameplay. I played this on mobile. No problem or complaints at all. With everything that's going on, it's still sight readable, which is, while not required, a huge plus. Song representation. Do I even need to say anything here? Fun fact, when I first watched the premiere of Manta Rave, I remember thinking it was a really good track, but it wouldn't be a good song for GD. I'm glad this level came out to teach me how fucking wrong I was about that. The intro animation is, for lack of a better word, flawless. I dare say MSM and whoever came up with the level concept did a plurality of the heavy lifting on this level. And about the theming, well, it's in space. One could say that it's not the most creative interpretation of the theme, but I disagree completely. The other entries depict space as this fantastical, beautiful, and amazing place. Sometimes it's even whimsical, festive, and full of life. But this level hits you like a brick by depicting space as it really is. Cold, unwelcoming, and empty. Super empty. Completely hostile to life. Completely hostile to you. Uncaring. It destroys your place of comfort. It is indifferent. Indifferent to your struggles. Indifferent to everything. And so because of that, it gets a 10 out of 10 for me on the theming. Overall, it's pretty clear that this will get mythic since, like Aperture, Space-Time Continuum, and Dream Emulator, and Abducted, it's unrated currently, and will just get rated mythic and form the top 5 when the results get published. Some levels I think will get top 20 are Point of View. To be honest, this will probably place top 10, but I have too many levels above it. Cosmic Crush, same thing with that. Could absolutely place, it's just a bit short. Vulcan, hosted by Plexify, and Mirage, hosted by Fox GDD, are mega collabs that have a shot. I firmly believe that Metamorphosis was robbed, so Fox really deserves to get a project into a gauntlet. Starblade Saster by El Mato Swag, Mindopolis by Masty, and Kiss of Fortune by Senior Saturno also have chances. Mindopolis only got Epic, so it probably won't place, but at least it got Daily, and hopefully it gets top 20 at least. There are just too many insanely good entries. I really like Starmalade by Goober and Hack, but it's in the same situation as Mindopolis with just an Epic rate. And there are a ton of legendary rated levels I didn't even see, so who knows if the top 20 will look anything like my predictions. So that's all for me. This contest reminded me that I'll never be as good as some of these creators no matter how much I try, so that's nice. Anyways, I'm excited as shit for these results. Should be coming out in a couple days.